garbage. Complete garbage.
Kind of weird and inconsistent to me.
Ironheart is back, this time going to an uncomfortable place for viewers.
Looks like Marvel's golden touch has turned into a meltdown. Between Dominique Thorne's fiery defense of Ironheart and the explosive backlash over drag queen representation, the MCU is facing a storm they clearly didn't see coming. And with a trailer that got more dislikes than an internet scam ad, you have to wonder, has Marvel finally lost its magic?
We know that it has been a colossal failure for Bob Iger and Kevin Feige, given that we have, of course, the Ironheart actress Dominique Thorne confirming several things about the show.
What's happening with Ironheart is nothing short of chaos. Marvel is facing a backlash so intense it feels like the fandom has turned on them completely. The teaser trailer has over 317,000 dislikes on YouTube, compared to just 178,000 likes. That's not just bad. It's an outright rejection. Fans are making their voices heard loud and clear. They're not happy, and Marvel's usual charm isn't working this time.
But I have not found them to be compelling at all.
This isn't your run-of-the-mill critique. Social media has been relentless, with the trailer being ratioed across platforms. Comments are flooding in, blasting Marvel for losing its identity and pushing what some are calling forced messaging. Fans are pointing out how Ironheart seems disconnected from the legacy of Iron Man. It's like Marvel has forgotten what made people fall in love with these stories in the first place.
I think at this point we need to start asking is Disney just sticking it to the comic book fan?
Behind the scenes, you can bet Marvel and Disney are scrambling. This level of negativity, especially for a franchise as massive as the MCU, is unheard of. Internally, it's being called a disaster, and it's easy to see why. The stakes are incredibly high, not just for Ironheart, but for Marvel's reputation as a whole. Now, let's not forget about the Rotten Tomatoes controversy. Even before the series aired, the audience score sat at 32%. That's shocking, considering most people hadn't even seen the show yet. It feels like a planned effort to tank the series' ratings. But whether it's genuine disappointment or just online trolling, one thing is clear. Marvel is in hot water. The ripple effects are massive. Marvel's reputation is being questioned in a way we haven't seen before. This isn't just about Ironheart. It's about trust. Trust that Marvel understands its audience and knows how to balance legacy with innovation. Right now, that trust is hanging by a thread.
Not just on Disney, but also on Marvel, and how a lot of Marvel fans are really beginning to realize that this is basically the Marvel version of the Acolyte series.
The real question now is, how does Marvel recover from this? Fans are angry, the trailer flopped, and the show has already hit the airwaves. Is this just a rough start, or is Ironheart on track to become the MCU's biggest failure since the Acolyte? One thing's clear. With the spotlight on its premiere, Marvel can't afford for things to spiral any further.
Right, not to mention they're interjecting all this weird woke nonsense that, quite frankly, I think the people have spoken. We're tired of this.
If you've been following the MCU lately, you'll know this isn't their first rodeo with fan backlash. The same crowd that once cheered Tony Stark's every quip is now quick to hit dislike or leave a one-star review. And honestly, Marvel has made some questionable choices recently. The bigger picture? Fans aren't just voicing opinions. They're waving a giant red flag, and it's aimed squarely at Marvel's storytelling choices. Here's where things get tricky. Marvel can't exactly call out review bombing without alienating its core audience. Imagine trying to tell fans, hey, you're wrong for hating this. That's a PR nightmare waiting to happen. Instead, they're left tiptoeing around the issue, hoping the storm will blow over. Spoiler alert, it's not blowing over anytime soon.
We're gonna put you in the mind of Shia Coulee, of what they must have been thinking to audition for this role in the first place.
Now, let's talk about Ironheart's secret weapon. Or maybe its biggest headache. Slug. Shea Coulee, the fierce winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5, plays this character with a drag queen past. Bold move, right? Except Marvel underestimated just how polarizing this would be. While some fans applauded the representation, others lost their minds, accusing Marvel of cramming woke messaging into their beloved superhero universe.
Are they like purposely trying to trigger the comic book fan?
Cue the outrage. Social media lit up like Thor's hammer on a bad day, with fans complaining about everything from drag culture in Ironheart to how Marvel's supposedly lost its way. Shea Coulee, to her credit, didn't shy away from the drama. She stepped up, defending her role and celebrating the show's inclusivity. According to her, Ironheart is about bringing people together, not driving them apart. But let's be real, not everyone saw it that way. The controversy around Slug isn't just a one-off. It's déjà vu for anyone who remembers The Acolyte. That Star Wars spin-off had its own share of backlash last year for, you guessed it, woke storytelling. The parallels are hard to ignore. Both projects faced a vocal minority.
We're sick and tired of this. We're good. We're walking away from this. And Disney, I believe they know this.
Here's the kicker. Marvel and Disney don't seem to have learned from their past mistakes. Instead of anticipating the backlash and addressing it head-on, they keep doubling down. It's like watching someone drive straight into a wall, reverse, and hit the gas again. Meanwhile, fans are left wondering if Marvel's focus has shifted from great storytelling to making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
We have to introduce this fierce character. We're gonna put you in the mind of Shea Coulee.
But let's not gloss over Shea Coulee's perspective. She's been candid about how meaningful it was to bring her drag experience into Ironheart. For her, this role wasn't just acting. It was a chance to challenge stereotypes and push boundaries. But the question remains, did they do it the right way? Or did they bite off more than they could chew? The Ironheart controversy isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a bigger conversation about what the MCU is and what it's becoming. Once upon a time, Marvel united fans with epic battles, snarky heroes, and emotional story arcs. Now, it feels like every project is a battleground for cultural debates. And while representation is crucial, Marvel's struggle to strike a balance is becoming painfully obvious.
She has to really reckon with what that means for the life that she wants to lead.
Dominique Thorne has been at the center of the Ironheart storm, and let me tell you, her recent comments did not help calm the waters. Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, came out swinging in defense of the series. She talked about how Ironheart isn't just a show, it's a celebration of diversity, inclusion, and LGBTQ rights. On paper, that sounds great, right? But when she started discussing how the series is about moving past Tony Stark's legacy, fans collectively hit the brakes.
It's only 6 episodes, which again is completely pathetic. I hate it when, even the ones I like, I hate it when Marvel shows do that, but still, whatever, 6 episodes.
For many Marvel loyalists, Tony Stark is the heart and soul of the MCU. He's the guy who kicked it all off. The genius billionaire playboy philanthropist who made you laugh one second and cry the next. So, when Thorne essentially said, "It's time to let him go," fans didn't take it well. The backlash was swift and brutal, with fans accusing Marvel of trying to erase Tony Stark from the narrative altogether.
Riri is selfish, and she has such an attitude, it's really hard to root for her.
And then Thorne doubled down. She told fans they were getting it twisted about what the show is trying to do. According to her, Ironheart isn't about replacing Tony. It's about building a new legacy. That might sound reasonable, but in the heat of fan outrage, it came across as dismissive. Instead of bridging the gap, her comments added fuel to the fire. Here's the kicker. Instead of quelling the backlash, Thorne's defense only seemed to make things worse. Fans who were already skeptical now felt like they were being lectured. And let's be honest, nobody likes being told how to feel about their favorite characters. It's a delicate line to walk, and unfortunately, Thorne's passionate defense may have pushed some fans further away.
Continues to be a factor. Marvel Studios confirmed that Ironheart will be released in 2 parts, 3 episodes each. One on the 24th, and I assume, 3 episodes on the 24th, I assume then 3 episodes.
Now, let's talk about Marvel's big move, or should I say, big gamble, with the 3-episode premiere. Dropping half the series on day 1 isn't exactly a vote of confidence. Historically, Disney Plus has reserved this strategy for projects they're unsure about. Think of it as a, let's rip off the Band-Aid and hope for the best approach. The logic here is simple. By releasing 3 episodes at once, Marvel is hoping to hook viewers quickly before the negativity spreads any further. But let's be real. Fans aren't stupid. This kind of release screams, we don't think this show can sustain interest week to week.
When you release weekly, you build positive word of mouth and momentum and all that kind of stuff. Look what happened with Andor, with viewership going up and up and up.
Compare this to Marvel's usual strategy of releasing one episode a week, building anticipation, and keeping the conversation alive. It's a formula that's worked for hits like WandaVision and Loki, but when it comes to Ironheart, it feels like Marvel is trying to rush through the series, almost as if they're bracing for impact.
Let's get this out and let's just get it off the books as fast as possible. Let's just make it 2 weeks.
This approach also raises questions about long-term engagement. By dumping 3 episodes at once, Marvel risks losing momentum midway through the series. Sure, the initial buzz might be strong, but will anyone still be talking about Ironheart by the time the finale rolls around? It's a risky move, especially for a show that's already facing an uphill battle. What's even more telling is how this strategy compares to past Disney Plus projects that struggled. Remember the Book of Boba Fett? Or The Acolyte? Both had mixed receptions and used similar tactics to offset potential fallout. The difference here is that Ironheart is supposed to be a cornerstone of Marvel's next phase, not just another experiment.
Nothing I have seen has kind of suggested to me that I will, and now nothing that in the way that Disney's handling it is suggesting to me that I will.
At the end of the day, this 3-episode drop feels less like a power move and more like damage control. Marvel knows the stakes are high, and they're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. The real question is, will it work? Or is Ironheart destined to join the ranks of Marvel's most controversial projects? One thing's for sure. Dominique Thorne's passionate defense and Marvel's bold release strategy have ensured one thing. Ironheart is the talk of the town. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, well, that's up for debate.
In the midst of the failing press tour and the terrible marketing campaign, mind you, with abysmal TV spots getting thrown out there and mocked by Marvel fans, it's not looking good for Kevin Feige, and it's most certainly not looking good for Bob Iger.
Ironheart is Marvel's most debated project yet. Some fans criticize it for forced messaging and say it strays too far from Iron Man's legacy. Others praise it for its diversity and inclusivity. Meanwhile, social media is buzzing with a heated clash of opinions.
It's very short-lived, it's brushed over really quickly, and she kind of reverts back to her old self.
This is where Marvel finds itself in a tough spot. The MCU has always been about evolving and reaching new audiences, but it's clear they're struggling to balance that with satisfying longtime fans. Toxic fandom is nothing new, but the intensity surrounding Ironheart shows just how high the stakes are when a beloved franchise tries to move in a different direction. But let's zoom out for a second. Why is there so much anger aimed at Ironheart specifically? The answer might lie in the shadow of Tony Stark. Fans have been vocal about their longing for Iron Man, and let's face it, Riri Williams stepping into those iconic iron shoes was always going to be a tough sell. Many argue that Marvel should have focused on a War Machine series instead, a character fans already know and love, rather than betting on an untested one.
The finale. The finale confused the heck out of me due to the fact that it was so freaking good.
The problem isn't just Ironheart. It's the post-Endgame identity crisis that Marvel seems to be having. For over a decade, the MCU was anchored by familiar faces and deeply loved stories. Now, with those characters gone or sidelined, Marvel is venturing into new territory. But here's the catch. Fans don't feel like they're being taken along for the ride. They feel like they're being left behind. What do you think? Is Ironheart a bold step forward or a stumble in the wrong direction? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.